Welcome, Junior Detectives, to Season 2 of Crime City, a monthly stage show in the style of old-time radio, recorded live at the Theatre on King in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. This month's episode, The Poison Teacup, starring Mike Judson, Kenn Gibb, Dan Smith, Mélanie Dubois, Adam Martignetti, and Kate Etchier, with live sound effects by Melissa Post and original music by Adam Martignetti. Crime City is written and produced by Andrew Root. We apologize for a few instances of distortion during the recording process. Do not adjust your radio.
Greetings, Junior Detectives! Shine your badge, put on your trench coat, and grab your magnifying glass. It's time to set your radio style to intrigue for another exciting episode of Crime City, brought to you by Sudsy Brand Beer, the William Randolph Hearst Journalism School, and the Saunders Smith Funeral Home. Crime City, home to the fiends, scoundrels, and ne'er-do-wells of the world. A cesspool of illegality. Honest citizens fear to walk the streets after dark. But one man stands against crime in Crime City, honor bound to serve justice and protect the innocent. Victor Marshall, Chief of Police.
Victor Marshall, at your service.
Our hero aims to clean up crime in Crime City. What nefarious foes will our heroes face in his quest to uphold the law? Find out in tonight's breathtaking installment from the files of Victor Marshall, The Poison Teacup.
Thanks again for letting me interview you for the Adventure Scouts newsletter, Mr. Marshall. Or should I say, Chief Marshall?
Whatever suits you best, kid.
Great. I'll get my junior journalism badge in no time. So, Chief Marshall, since you became Chief of Police, following the defeat of Crime Minister and his evil cyborg in a stunning display of wits and cunning, what sorts of crazy adventures and things have you been on? Caught any more supervillains or war criminals?
It's actually more paperwork than anything. I sign a lot of requisition forms, try to revise outdated policy where I can.
But surely there's been an international gang of gold bullion thieves that you've cracked?
Nope.
An illegal casino that caters to corrupt senators and their shady foreign agents?
Nothing of the sort.
Investigated a rogue satellite only to discover a dark coven of space witches intent on building a chrome steel Mars colony infected with black magic and attacking Earth with a swarm of cybertronically enhanced evil hellbeast aliens?
I had a real corker of a budget committee meeting today, if you want to write about that.
Oh, come on! You're holding back. Make with the stories where you overhaul the system and clear out the deadwood. Chop, chop!
Sorry, kid. Life of the chief isn't all mob bosses and international conspiracies and massive cyborgs and what have you. It's a lot of grind trying to fix a broken system. But we can't just trash the legal system because it's gotten rusty and misused. It takes time.
Listen. Since Wednesday Williams was installed as assistant head scout, things haven't been exactly easy for me. I've got to come back with a good story, or I'll never earn my junior journalism badge. It's got a little typewriter on it, and it's adorable, and I want it.
I'm sorry, kid. Things have gotten dull. What can you do?
Maybe you can tell me about one of your old cases. Yeah, that's the angle. From the files of Victor Marshall. Yeah, back in the day when you were a roguish, devil-may-care detective working outside the corrupt system, not caring a penny for the rules, never playing by the book. Something with adventure, excitement, intrigue, murder, sex.
I ain't telling you a story with sex in it, kid.
Oh, come on. I can handle it. I know all about wangers and Berginas.
Kid, it's the 1950s. We can't talk about sex. Pick a murder case.
Yay!
They're all in the file cabinet over there. Pick the ones that don't have an R-rated name and we'll get started.
Okay. Let's see here. How about the pernicious pilfering prostitute?
Under no circumstances.
Grand theft porno?
No way.
Okay. What about the G-string strangler?
Oh, good God, no. Here, look at this one. The Poison Teacup.
Fine. But it better have a good murder in it.
I promise it. In fact, the Poison Teacup was my very first case as a private detective. and I remember it like it was only yesterday.
Marshall, you in here?
Yes, I am, Miss Hotelier. Gosh, is it Friday already?
It is, and that means rent's due, plus last week's and the week before. I trust you have what's owed. Mama's got to make a down payment on a new pair of lungs.
Not exactly, Miss Hotelier.
What? They won't hold those lungs forever, you know. They're from a Sherpa who lived in the Himalayas, so they're not exactly cheap. What's your sob story this time, Marshall? I don't have many rules, but pay your rent on time is definitely one of them.
I've been waiting for my phone to be hooked up, and I'm running an ad in the paper, and my name is in the yellow pages, so it's just a matter of time before someone needs a private detective. We do live in Crime City, after all.
You'd think you'd be rolling in business, like an exterminator in Ratville. Or a lady pimp in historic Gigolo Island. Oof, that place is depressing. Those poor, stupid gigolos. Yet here you sit.
Ah, there! A case! I'll have your rent money in no time at all, Miss Hotelier. Hello? Victor Marshall, private detective, at your service.
Yes, hello. This is the butler at Stately Domain Manor. I need a detective right away. The lady of the house has been murdered.
Who is it? A case or one of them surveys? Not interested.
Not interested? Very well. We'll ring, let's see, Steel Consulting. Good day.
No. I'll take the case.
Don't tell them I'm here. It could be my husband's divorce lawyer. I ain't signing no settlements. It's all or nothing.
Miss Hotelier, shh.
You seem to have your hands full. Perhaps this was outside your wheelhouse. Lady Domain was a very important woman.
No. I've handled dozens of murder cases. Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yeah, you wanted the best. You got the best.
Very well. Despite misgivings, haste is of the essence. Can you be here in 20 minutes?
Domain Manor is on the outskirts of town, isn't it? Geez, I don't have a car.
Good day.
No. I'll take a cab. Don't hang up. If I only had the fare.
Well, don't look at me. You already owe me 3 weeks' rent. And I'm not adding cab fare across town to your tab. Not when those sweet, oxygen-retaining Sherpa lungs are in the cards.
Look, I'll have to leave the meter running. Okay, solve the case quickly and pay the cabbie out of the profits.
See you, in 19 minutes, Detective Marshall. And do be discreet. It's not every day the Domain household is plagued by murder.
Weird time for a dramatic pause, seeing as haste is of the essence.
These upper-class types, no respect for the dramatic timing of anyone but themselves. Now get out of here.
Look, I'll have your rent in no time, Miss Hotelier.
See that you do. Otherwise, you and me are gonna work out an alternate arrangement.
What does that mean?
Well, you're the detective. You figure it out. Later, Dick.
A case! And not a moment too soon. Unless he can come up with the cash, Victor Marshall will be paying his rent with either lips or lungs. An unsavory proposition under the best of circumstances. Don't touch that dial, junior detectives. We'll find out how Victor makes out after these messages from our sponsors.
Say, you look like you've had a long day. You have? Well, I've got just the thing for you. Sudsy brand beer. The most relaxing beer in the country. After a hard day's work, it's nice to put up your feet, isn't it? Heck, it's nice to put your feet up, even if it hasn't been a hard day. And you know what goes perfectly with feet that have been put up? Sudsy brand beer. Ha, that's what. Enjoy it anytime. After a day at the office, or mowing the lawn, or to calm your nerves before taking a long drive. You see, thanks to the increased alcohol content, there's no beer more relaxing than Sudsy. So take the day off and drink all afternoon. You see, due to an improper balance of alcohol, those other beers can cause agitation and cantankerousness, but not Sudsy. With Sudsy, we've solved that problem by increasing just how alcoholic our beer is. And let me tell you, cousin, it's a lot. No more barroom brawls, beer drinkers. You're a respectable member of society who enjoys Sudsy brand beer. The beer that goes great with naps.
Good evening, gentlemen and incidental ladies. My name is William Randolph Hearst. You may have heard of my vast fortune, which I funneled into my many publishing ventures. Well, I'm a newspaper man, and I'm here to tell you that you can be too by joining the William Randolph Hearst Journalism School for Men and Incidental Ladies. Did you know that I could have been a senator? It's true, but I turned it all down. Journalism, not politics, is the one field where you can really crush your enemies, you see. You can print anything you want so long as you can afford the lawsuits, and cousin, I can afford them. Readership is up, my enemies are down, and I've got a weekend date with Marlene Dietrich. You want a piece of this pie? You can have it if you enroll at the William Randolph Hearst Journalism School for Men and Incidental Ladies. That's right, ladies are, well, I wouldn't say welcome, but certainly not discouraged in any legal discriminatory way. Look, forget all that. Join my school and let's tear that Orson Welles a new one. The William Randolph Hearst Journalism School for Men and Incidental Ladies. We're the voice of America, and we'll crush you if you say otherwise.
Welcome back, junior detectives. Hired to investigate the murder of a wealthy dowager, our hero, Victor Marshall, flags a cab and races to the outskirts of town. Here, a private mountain was commissioned and successfully built. 100,000 trees, 20,000 tons of marble are the ingredients of stately Domain Manor's mountain. Contents of Domain Manor? Paintings, pictures, statues, the very stones of many another palace. A collection of everything so big it can never be catalogued or appraised. Enough for 10 museums. The loot of the world. Domain Manor's livestock. The fowl of the air. The fish of the sea. The beast of the field and the jungle. 2 of each. The biggest private zoo since Noah. Since the pyramids, Domain Manor is the costliest monument a woman has built to herself. The newly deceased Lady Domain used the windfall from her late husband's life insurance policy to build this castle, this monument, and ultimately this tomb at which Victor now arrives. He tells the cabbie to leave the meter running and hurries to the front door, where he is met by the immense household's chief servant, Carlyle the butler.
Is this Domain Manor?
You are 7 1/4 minutes late, Mr. Marshall. At 4 strokes per second, that's 1,800 breaststrokes from even the most lax shoe-shine boy. We could have shined the boots of an entire brigade of soldiers in the amount of time you were late, and still had time to set the table for dinner.
Traffic?
And is that lipstick on your collar?
My landlady.
No time. Come inside.
Thank you. Quite a place you have here, Mr.
Carlyle. And it's not my place, Detective Marshall. It belongs to the family Domain, as it has for 9 generations, and shall continue to be held in trust to that family until the immemorial, God willing. I am the butler and chief servant, nothing more. This way.
Oh, neat.
Indeed. The death of Lady Domain is a great tragedy, signaling the end of her particular generation of Domain.
What happened to Lord Domain?
He passed away several years ago when he was exposed to the virulent ideals ensconced within a comic book about a masked superhero, and declined to explore the grounds for something he called a bat cave. He subsequently fell into a dry well, breaking his neck in 45 places.
45?
It was an extremely deep well that narrowed and widened in many places.
Were there any bats down there?
No. But when his body was extracted, he appeared to have struck a pocket of subterranean oil, a venture which added considerably to the Domain family's already considerable fortune. This way, please.
Where are we going?
I'm taking you to the drawing room where her ladyship remains. I've taken the liberty of covering her with a sheet. I presume you won't be moving the body, but the sheet is 10,000 count Egyptian cotton, so please don't touch that either. Just this way, if you please. Before we enter, I must ensure that what is seen here is to be kept the gravest secret.
I figured you called a private detective for a reason. Most people go to the police for a suspected murder.
The Domain family has come under fire in recent years, much of which I'm afraid to say has been attributed to young Lord Wentworth Domain, the son and sole heir of Lady Domain. Despite her attempts to make him into a respectable member of society, his social exploits have garnered criticism from the popular press, who claim that his inheritance of Domain Manor signals the end of an era. If the police were involved, so too comes the newsman, and I fear the paupers of Crime City will tear down the gates and attempt to loot the grounds if a strong aristocracy is not maintained. Now is not the time for a show of weakness.
Yeah, I guess not.
I have your word as a man of the law, then? Complete discretion?
Don't worry, Jeeves. The only people who know that I'm here are my landlady and the cabbie who's waiting outside. Say, you don't think I could get an advance, do you? I could just nip outside and pay the driver?
In the amount of time you've been here, we could have swept the ashes of 16 chimneys, stoked the fires twice over, and boiled enough water to last us through the great drought of 1885. So I think we've wasted quite enough time already, don't you?
A simple no would have saved some time.
Here we are.
Right. Well, let's take a look around, shall we? When was she found?
42 minutes ago.
And who found her?
It was I. I served her ladyship her evening cup of tea, which I suspect was poisoned.
And what makes you suspect that?
As I was about to leave the room, her ladyship exclaimed, "The tea tastes dreadfully different this evening, Carlyle. In fact, it tastes of poison." At which point she collapsed onto the floor, quite lifeless.
Weird final words?
Well, not entirely. Lady Domain was the possessor of the world's largest private collection of poisons. She would have recognized the taste of poison right away.
Really?
Everyone's got a hobby, you see. Now, I suspect you'll want to interview the staff.
I'm not sure I'm done with you yet, Carlyle. You freely admit that you were alone in the room with her and that you served her the poisoned teacup. Most lawmen would call that circumspect.
Preposterous! I am the butler. I have dedicated my life to the preservation of this great house, of which I am the chief servant. Do you know what my staff does when I say jump? They jump. None of this how-high nonsense. A servant, you see, is a soldier of the butler and is their sergeant major. I have proven my worth to the Domain household through 40 years of back-breaking service, and I shall continue to do so until I draw my final breath. The butler is a trusted confessor and confidant and strives to be worthy of that honor. The butler is stalwart and unflinching in his duty. The butler is beyond reproach, and I am, after all, the butler.
Oh.
But, if you insist, I can provide you with a detailed itinerary of my whereabouts.
Where were you at 2:12 this afternoon?
Polishing the guest silverware. A salad fork, the 9th in the set of 20, vintage 1896, a gift from the Kaiser of Austria.
Wow.
Indeed. Now, shall we begin with the kitchen staff? Splendid.
Wait, you're just gonna leave her there? Someone could disturb the crime scene.
The staff and residents of the household are all accounted for. Young Lord Wentworth Domain is in the games room, Imogen, the maid, is in the parlor, and Katinka and Valentin, our chefs, who you will meet presently, are in the kitchen, which is just through here.
Look, I should really get outside and pay the driver. You don't have a couple bucks you could spot me until the murder is solved, do you? Come on.
Hardly. One does the job, then gets paid. When I am making her ladyship's bed in the morning, I am not given a handful of coins to tide me over until the pillows are fluffed.
A butler does not get paid mid-buttle. You will be paid when, or perhaps if, you solve the case.
Man, that cabbie struck oil when he picked me up. Bet he didn't realize he was going to be going for a ride. A ride on the gravy train, that is. He'll really be bringing home the bacon. Now I know how the goose who laid the golden egg felt. This is one fare that's certainly worth its salt.
And speaking of oil, gravy, bacon, eggs, and salt, here we are at the kitchen.
Bro, close door.
Yeah, bro. Flies get in.
Oh my God. You're covered in blood.
Easy, bro. He's not blood. He's beet juice.
Oh, thank God.
Is some blood.
He's mostly beet juice, bro. Only some blood.
Borscht, bro. We're making borscht. Close door, butler, bro.
Katinka, Valentin, you've been told many times that her ladyship does not appreciate the finer qualities of borscht.
Ladyship is dead, bro. We make borscht.
Good for morning, bro. Good for soul.
Did you have to use quite so many beets?
Get a load of this, bro. One's borscht without beets.
No beets, no borscht, bro. Simple thinking.
You could use cabbage and make white borscht.
White borscht? I look Polish to you, bro.
Katinka, bro. Calm.
I am Russian. You understand, bro?
I get it.
Put knife down, Katinka, bro. But seriously, bro. No white borscht. She'll straight up kill you, bro.
Yeah, jeez. Got a lot of knives around here, huh?
His kitchen, bro.
Yeah, bro, maybe Polish kitchen not have knives. Russian kitchens have knives, bro.
Katinka, Valentin, this is Detective Marshall. He is here to investigate her ladyship's untimely death.
Untimely. Ladyship was old, bro.
Time had come. Like frost comes to milkweed.
That's beautiful, bro.
Really, bro. It just come into my brain house.
You should be writing it down, you poet, bro. Hey, butler, we get break now?
Certainly not. Dinner is only 3 hours away.
Oh, come on, bro. Is only one bro to cook for now the lady is kaput?
Ah, bro. Fewer people mean less food, mean more time for break.
Absolutely not. The detective will need to look around and ask you some questions, but you are expected to maintain your customary pace.
Fine. Russians will cook. Detective can do whatever he like, but stay away from borscht, bro.
Okay. Let's see. Our working theory is that her ladyship was poisoned.
That's so. What she look like, bro? Buggy eyes?
Yeah, bro, eyes. They bug.
Could be poison if eyes bug.
How do you know that?
We work in slaughterhouse in old country.
Russia, bro.
Poison give meat a good spice. Make it tangy.
That sounds disgusting. But do you keep any poisonous or hazardous chemicals here in this kitchen?
Bro, duh.
Yeah, bro. Duh.
That poison, that poison, that poison, that poison.
Arsenic, strychnine, cobra venom, hemlock.
Jesus.
We got tetrodotoxin, mercury, cyanide, aconite. What you want, bro? We got it.
Why do you have so many poisons in the kitchen?
You not have poisons in your kitchen?
Yeah, bro, we experts.
Let me ask. Ladyship have foam and corners of mouth?
No.
Veins. You see veins? Like she mad veiny, bro? On face?
Now that you mention it.
Unsavory to say, but yes. Her ladyship matched that description.
Combo arsenic cobra venom, bro. Simple.
Do you have any of that here?
Yeah, bro. Over there.
By the tea and coffee station.
Oh, you order us around all day, bro? We run off our feet. You want organized kitchen too? Go right ahead.
Look at this. It's tipped over and unstoppered. Really? I expected better from you, Katinka. Valentin?
Sorry, bro.
Hey, don't apologize to him, bro. We don't make tea. It's not cook's job. It's maid.
The maid? What was her name?
Imogen, of course.
Yeah, of course, bro. What you doing here in kitchen anyway? Go find maid. She guilty, bro.
Maid grumbles about her employer all the time. She hates it here, bro. Bro is disgruntled.
motive, bro.
I think perhaps we'll leave the detecting to the detective. Thank you, Katinka.
Oh, sure, but detective can suggest white borscht.
They're not wrong, Carlisle. I better talk with this Imogen.
Hey, butler, when we get a new stove, burner is kaput.
Have to bang on side to make work. Look!
Yes. It's on the list of repairs to make. Be patient.
Guess bros don't get rich by spending money.
It's curse of upper caste, bro.
We'll find Imogen upstairs in the parlor, detective.
Oh, sure. Just ignore concerns of the workers.
Come, Katinka, bro. We make borscht. Good for soul.
This way to the parlor, detective.
I've got to tell you, Carlisle, I'm not exactly seeing the austere dignity you promised me.
What are you speaking of, sir?
Openly defiant staff, shoddy kitchen equipment, poison everywhere. Looks like Domain Manor has steered off course under your watch. Boy, if these walls could talk.
One can only do so much with the materials one has been given.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how this maid measures up to the Domain standard.
Imogen is not without her faults.
Yeah? Well, so's California. This the parlor?
Yes. Let me...
I'll let myself in.
Oh, monsieur, you startled me.
Imogen! Pick that up this instant. Quickly! Before it gets into the carpet.
Oui, Monsieur Carlisle.
No, what is that? A bucket of paste? And what's with the strips of newspapers? You making a papier mache in here?
No, monsieur. I am pasting the cracks in the windows with these pieces of paper.
And you'd better finish it quickly.
I'm pasting.
Pasting the cracks in the windows shut? What gives, Carlisle? Why not just spring for some new panes of glass?
That is what I said.
Quiet, Imogen. If you must know, detective, we aren't able to afford it.
Can't afford basic repairs. Boy, this place is in more trouble than I thought.
Oui, c'est vrai. My last 2 paychecks have been late.
Imogen!
Monsieur Carlisle de tabernacle.
Keep that French mouth of yours shut. I'm taking night classes, and it's only a matter of time before I can understand what you're actually saying under your breath.
Whoa. Carlisle, calm down.
I do apologize for my conduct, Detective Marshall, but if you only knew what this one has put me through...
I did not say anything except how much I simply love to work here. Monsieur Carlisle, he only yells at me every 5 minutes for good reasons.
I do consider myself a patient employer, but this croissant puts me through the ringer. Everyone knows the French are famously insubordinate, but Lady Domain insisted. It's not a manor house without a French maid, she said.
You left out the part where she called you an overpuffed peacock in a dusty tuxedo.
Do you see the insubordination I am forced to put up with, detective? Just you wait, my little Rue Blondieu. Now that her ladyship has passed on, your days here are numbered.
You cannot fire me, Monsieur Carlisle. As despicable as it is, this job is to pay for my studies.
Your studies?
Oui, I'm saving for a postgraduate school. I don't want to be a maid forever, you know.
You didn't tell me you were going back to school. And whatever for? Too good for a life in the service industry?
I have been working on an economic doctrine that will revolutionize the way upper and lower classes interact. If I can get my thesis published, I will finally equal the playing field for the working class in today's wintry economic climate.
You'll do no such thing, you turtleneck-wearing cheese daughter. You see, detective, she's one of those openly defiant intellectuals with no respect for the social hierarchy. That's what they teach in those French schools.
Liberté, égalité, fraternité.
I told you not to bring that francophile nonsense into this house.
All right, everyone calm down. For God's sake, the meter on my cab is still running, and I don't have time to debate socioeconomics. Imogen, I am a detective. I suppose you know why I'm here?
Oui, monsieur. But I am not guilty. I have been in here pasting these windows shut, just as Monsieur Carlyle demanded.
And that's what you've been doing all day?
Oui, monsieur.
Liar! French liar!
Mon Dieu!
Carlyle, dial it down a few notches, okay?
What she neglects to tell you is that she also prepared her ladyship's evening cup of tea. You see, the pasting these windows shut isn't the only thing she's been doing today. Dishonest Frenchwoman!
I forgot about making the tea. Perhaps it was these fumes from the space and the over-increasing lack of ventilation in this room.
Typical untrustworthy Parisian claptrap detective. That's all this is. First, she neglects to mention that she's pursuing a doctorate in economics, and then she conveniently forgets that she made the very drink that killed her ladyship.
Carlyle, take it easy.
You poisoned her ladyship's tea to cripple my beloved aristocracy, didn't you? You wine-loving proletariat!
I would never! The aristocracy can serve a purpose in greater social structure, but when it operates in isolation, it burns out its own resources. You would know that if you didn't have your head up your own ass.
Socialist!
Elitist!
Slow down, everyone. Look, let's not resort to ideologically charged name-calling or whatever that was. Look, Imogen, is it true that you made tea for Lady Domain today?
It is true, detectives, that I took a break from this pasting to prepare ladyship's cup of tea. But otherwise, I've been in this room.
When you were making the tea, did you happen to notice if the tea-making station was in any kind of disorder?
Now that you mention it, one of the bottles on the shelf above the station was knocked over. Is it possible that whatever was in that bottle fell into a ladyship's teacup?
Wouldn't you have noticed something like that, Imogen? Carlyle here likes to characterize this place as a fairly tight ship.
This place? Hardly. If this place is a tight ship, then I am Louis XIV. On a tight ship, the captain does not yell and throw hissy fits all the time.
I do no such thing. I correct my staff when they require it, detective, but hardly what you'd call yelling.
Yes, you do. You're yelling right now. This is one of his hissy fits.
I am not yelling, and I am not having a hissy fit.
Hi, everybody. What's all the commotion?
Lord Domain, you are supposed to be in the games room, Master Wentworth.
Yeah, I was up there, like you said, Carlyle. I was playing with that big table with the little holes around the side.
The billiards table, my lord.
I guess so. I hit the little round things into the holes with the stick?
Yes. Billiards, my lord. The little round things are balls. The holes are called pockets. And the stick is the cue.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, I guess I won because all the balls disappeared. Can I get some more of those balls, Carlyle? The game's pretty fun.
The balls didn't disappear, my lord. They simply went into the pockets. You can simply pick them back out again.
Huh. Okay. That's ingenious. You must be pretty smart to invent a game like that, Carlyle.
Well, I did not quite invent
Hey, who's this?
Name's Victor Marshall, Lord Domain, a private detective. I'm here about your mother's murder.
Oh? What is that?
What is what?
That thing you said that Mom's doing? Murder? What is that?
What is murder?
Never mind. I'm sure Mom will tell me all about it when she gets done. Hey, Carlyle, what's with all the yelling?
Oh, my lord, I think you'd better sit down on the sofa.
The what?
The sofa, my lord.
I heard you, Carlyle, but, like, which one is that?
What are you talking about? The couch. Sit down on the couch.
Okay, Guy, I don't know which one that is, all right? I see the thing there with the cushion, and then there's that other one that's like the first one, but it's longer. And you're saying it's a sofa, but you're saying it's a couch. But can a thing even be more than one thing? So what am I supposed to do?
What's with him?
Well, you know know how if you don't really need to know something, you just don't remember it? Well, Lord Wentworth, he has never had to know things in the first place, so he just does not know them.
You don't know what furniture is?
No. I don't, okay? Like, knowing furniture is so important?
Please, my lord, calm down. This here is the sofa. Oftentimes referred to as a couch or Chesterfield. And that shorter version is called a chair.
Okay, so I know that now, smart guy? It's locked in there. I may not know things, but when I learn them, I don't forget them, okay? Who is this guy, Carlisle? I don't like him. When is Mom going to be done with her murder?
Is he always like this?
Oui. Last week I had to tell him what directions are.
Oh, like people need to know left and right? You can just point and say it that way, okay? My way is faster.
Of course it is, Lord Domain.
That's the kind of thinking I'm going to take to college with me next semester.
You are going to college?
How dare you speak to Lord Wentworth Domain in that manner?
I'm just speaking truth over here.
Look, Lord Wentworth, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, about Mom's murder or whatever. What is that? Is it like that billiards game I was playing? Because I beat that game in like 2 seconds. So she should be done real soon. Mom's real smart, and she wants me to be smart too, which is why I'm going to college next month.
He bought his way in.
Imogen, hush.
Mom's gonna be so proud of me when I graduate. Maybe I'll even be Valentine Victory.
No, man. Listen. Your mom is dead. Someone poisoned her.
Look, you're obviously new here, so I'm just gonna slow this down for you. Are you paying attention to me? Mom says eye contact is important. I don't know what you're telling me.
All right, let's see here. You know how you're breathing, and that's keeping you alive? Well, your mom isn't doing that anymore. And that means she's dead.
That can happen?
You have upset his lordship.
Wait, so breathing makes you not dead? I thought it was just something we did.
Deep breaths, my lord. Deep breaths.
Well, obviously, Carlisle, because apparently if I don't keep breathing, I'll wind up dead. What else haven't you been telling me?
My condolences, okay?
And what does that mean? Someone go get Mom. She always makes you feel better.
Oh, mon Dieu.
There, my lord. Listen, it goes like this. There are certain things that people aren't meant to eat or drink.
Like rocks?
Yes. Yeah. Somewhat similar to rocks, yes. And these things are called poisons.
Poisons?
That's right. And if someone does eat or drink these poisons, they stop breathing.
And that's what happened to Mom?
Yes. Yes. Someone has put poison into your mother's tea, and now she's not breathing any longer.
But then what happens to my inheritance?
Oh, sure. He knows what that is.
Imogen, this is hardly the time.
His mother has just been poisoned, and all he cares about is his inheritance. Ridiculous.
Please, everybody. My mother has just eaten rocks. A moment of peace.
Wait. What's this about an inheritance?
I was supposed to get a big inheritance from my mom and dad when they were both dead. Do I still get it?
Certainly you still do, my lord.
But the semester hasn't started.
What's this now?
Mom told me that I only get the inheritance if I'm going to college. And classes don't start for another month.
Is that so?
She said she really wants to see me improve my mind. So if I wasn't going to college, I wouldn't get my inheritance.
Then what happens to all that money?
It gets put into a trust that's controlled by the family's chief proxy, who acts as sole approbator.
I just want to point out how aggravating it is that you know all these legal terms as they relate to your inheritance, but we just had to explain to you what a chair is.
I know what a chair is, okay? It's a sofa baby.
And who is the family's chief proxy?
Oh, Carlisle. Who else?
You?
Me? Well, I suppose that makes sense, but I swear I had no idea.
That is why you were so insistent that I make the tea. That's why you order around the kitchen staff.
Chicken?
You knew they would get careless with the poison, and then you could pin her ladyship's death on me. Then you could make out with the family fortune scot-free.
It's nothing like that. Nothing of the sort. Detective, you must believe me.
That's it. I've had enough. Everyone is a suspect, but there's only one true murderer. And based on all the evidence, I think I know who it is. Carlisle, gather everyone here in the parlor, and I'll tell you all at once and for all, who the real murderer is.
Gather the entire staff together? Well, that'll take a few minutes, won't it? Time enough for a commercial break, junior detectives. Sit tight, mull over your theories, and we'll be right back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Laura Beth Saunders Smith from the Saunders Smith Funeral Home with an important message. We live in terrifying times, I think we can all agree. The threat of nuclear war looming large over all of our heads is bad enough, but now Hollywood science fiction is making things worse. Thanks to films like The Creature with the Atom Brain and My Husband Came Back from the Dead, people are more afraid than ever of radiation causing their loved ones to rise from the dead and feast on the flesh of the living. I know these fears all too well. I often wake in a cold sweat, wondering if my husband is securely buried in our family plot, or if he's clawing his way to the surface, intent on feasting upon my living flesh and brains. And that's why I invented a new type of escape-proof coffin, available exclusively at the Saunders Smith Funeral Home. 14 inches of plate steel, lead lining, encircled by chains of pure chromium and engravings of powerful magic runes from a variety of cultures, all ensure that the dead will stay deep in the ground until the good Lord calls them home. Don't you worry, though. These coffins aren't so heavy that Jesus couldn't lift them. Visit the Saunders Smith Funeral Home and reserve yours today. Unless, of course, you want your brain eaten out of your skull by Aunt Betty who didn't pray hard enough.
Welcome back, junior detectives. We've been enjoying our story in the parlor where Victor has gathered together all the members of the household to reveal the identity of the teacup poisoner. Have you figured it out? If you think you'll know the answer, shout it out on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, good guesses! But there's only one right answer. Let's listen and find out. There you go.
I did.
I was naked.
You said we all did it.
All right. Now listen here. Everyone in this room is a suspect in the murder of Lady Elsbeth Domain of Domain Manor. But only one person in this house is guilty. It behooves me to get to the bottom of this quickly, because the meter on my cab is still running. We have 5 primary suspects, each with their own motives. Imogen, the maid, a scholar whose life's work would contribute to the dismantling of the aristocracy, of which a Lady Domain was a chief support. Not exactly happy in her work, and she prepared the tea that ended the life of Lady Domain.
It's obvious she hates and detests our way of life.
What?
Yeah, bro, maid always grumbles.
Bro felt crushed beneath the wheel of capitalism. Bro struck back.
Guilty as sin.
Not so fast. While it's true she prepared the tea, the poison was already upended and unstoppered in the kitchen. Imogen was not the only disgruntled employee in Domain Manor, and two of those employees, Katinka and Valentin, the kitchen staff, have a working knowledge of poisons.
What you looking at us for, bro? We're not disgruntled, we're Russian.
This is just how we talk, bro.
You're culturally insensitive, bro. Immigration is gift.
We just want new stove, bro. Have to bang on side of this one to make work.
And it's precisely the reverberations of that banging on the stove, coupled with the general frenzy of a workplace encouraged by Carlyle, that might have caused a bottle to tip over on its own.
I hardly think maintaining a timetable counts as criminal intent detective.
So is accident. Accident is not murder, bro.
Precisely. Murder requires both action and intent, which means that if the poison was tipped over accidentally into the teacup, we can eliminate Imogen, Katinka, Valentin, and Carlyle from the equation.
That is a relief.
You are saying it, French bro.
Well, it was a ridiculous notion to entertain in the first place.
Look, let's not sing and dance in the streets just yet. I'm sure I could find an involuntary manslaughter charge for the four of you based on hazardous work environments and gross negligence.
Oh, merde.
Bleichert proveri.
No, okay. When we think about intent, what we need to consider is who stands to benefit. Which brings me to Lord Wentworth Domain.
You think I fed rocks to my own mother?
It's true. He had a massive inheritance coming to him if her ladyship died.
Ah, but there were conditions. Lord Domain would only inherit the family fortune if he was enrolled in university at the time of his mother's death.
And I wasn't. Classes don't start for another month, which is 30 days most times, everybody.
Right. And so who really stood to benefit from the death of Lady Domain?
Well, surely you can't mean me. I've devoted my life to the service of this family.
And you were also set to inherit their fortune. Could it be that the manor's run-down condition and frantically paced staff were part of a long-term plan to off the lady of the house and take over?
Oh, really? Do you really think I would allow the dignity of one of the greatest families to suffer simply so I could benefit from that suffering? I'll tell you this. The Domain fortune is not liquid. In order to profit, I'd have to sell the grounds, the menagerie, the gardens, and the pools, all the artwork and statues. Why do you think I had Imogen pasting cracked windows back together? Why didn't I replace the broken stove or repair the creaking floors? The Domains are house poor. An inheritance from them would be an albatross.
Wait, what?
Not literally, you fool.
Oh, man. Thank goodness.
Albatross makes for a good stew.
He's salty bird, bro.
Yeah, bro. Save on salt. Is good.
Which means that it's completely against the natures of our other two suspects. A career servant and an ignoramus who has no concept of the consequences of his actions.
Carlyle, he called you an ignoramus.
An inheritance that no one wants, a staff peopled by disgruntled workers without solid motives, and the whole house crawling with bottles of poison. There'd only be one person in this place who is guilty of both action and intent, the true murderer.
Well, it wasn't I.
Pas moi.
Not me, bro.
Bro, not me either.
What are we doing?
That's right. It wasn't any of you. There's one person that we haven't considered yet, and that person is the real murderer. Lady Domain herself.
She killed herself? I thought this was supposed to be a family show.
Are you quite mad, detective? What exactly does she stand to benefit from her own poisoning?
She'd be dead, bro.
Is little benefit, bro.
Let's look at the facts. The widow of an extremely stupid man with mountains of debt, a toxic environment amongst the hired help, a half-wit son, and with a vast, easily accessible collection of poisons. She was looking for a way out, so she could, talk the big game about how important family honor was. She knew you'd fall for it, hook, line, and sinker, Carlisle. And when you did, you worked the staff into a frenzy, and when they got careless and started spilling poisons in the kitchen, her plan came to fruition.
You realize that this is incredibly insulting, don't you?
Yeah, but bro, what you say is that people would rather kill selves than spend time with us.
Is hurtful, bro. Is nasty.
Yeah, maybe we kill ourselves instead of hanging out with you, bro. How's that feel?
We have feelings, bro. Feelings.
Oh, for the love of... Look, I'm not here to be nice to you. I'm here to solve the case.
I must ask you to leave, Detective Marshall, at once.
Murder investigations don't really work like that. Especially since you're all implicated, at least circumstantially. Well, except for you, Lord Domain. I don't believe you're capable of premeditated anything.
Well, in that case, I release you.
No. You don't get to release suspects. I get to do that.
It's okay, Detective. I don't want to press charges.
No, see, it doesn't work like that.
You're free, my friends.
Stop it.
Look, Detective, if her ladyship really did poison herself like you say, and if everyone is at least partly guilty, isn't that the same as saying no one is guilty?
Yeah, bro, look other way.
Let it slide, bro.
Yes, thank you for your time, Detective, but I think we can all agree that this is a private family matter to deal with now, don't you? We'll pay you for your time, of course.
Well, yeah, you'll pay me for my time because you hired me. And you'll all be coming downtown with me for processing because that's the law. Those are the rules.
Detective, you are aware that you reside in Crime City, yes?
That doesn't change a thing. Everyone wants justice until they're the ones under suspicious. And then it's mercy this and circumstance that. But I'm honor-bound to serve justice and protect the innocent. I aim to clean up crime in Crime City, no matter what nefarious foes I face in my quest to uphold the law. And that means you're coming with me. And that's the whole story, Brad. I remember it like it was yesterday. Sure, I didn't make a lot of money after paying the cabbie, but fighting crime is more about the warm feeling of doing good that you get deep down in your gut when you finally crack a tough case. One of these days, you'll get that feeling for yourself, Brad.
Wait. So you just arrested everyone? Sounds like a lot of those people were just involved by accident or confluence of circumstance.
Maybe, but the law's the law.
So what you're saying is that you arrested people blindly, regardless of whether or not there were any extenuating circumstances surrounding their actual involvement?
Not exactly.
Well, sounds like that French maid could have made a real difference to the fabric of our economic society if she hadn't had her academic career smeared by a criminal record. Would you care to comment on that?
No.
But you don't deny it.
Kid, how much do I have to pay you to forget this whole story?
Well, given that the moral of your story seems to be that bribery or good intentions shouldn't stand in the way of justice, well, it would have to be a lot.
How about if I just let you read the G-String Strangler?
It's a deal!
You heard it here first, junior detectives. The life of a PI is not as morally cut and dry as it appears.
I did never claim it was.
Shades of grey to make E.L. James blush. When you set up shop as a private eye, you're entering into a world where there is no right and wrong.
That's not what I was going for. It was just supposed to be an interesting story.
Ooh, call him an anti-hero.
Oh, that's a good one. Thanks, kid. Tune in next time for the morally ambiguous adventures of troubled anti-hero Victor Marshall.
That's not what this show is. It's family friendly.
That's our show, and now I've got to run out and buy myself one of those zombie-proof coffins. Can't be too careful, junior detectives. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
This episode of Crime City featured Mike Judson as Victor Marshall, Kenn Gibb as Brad Bramble and Carlisle the butler, Dan Smith as the narrator and Valentin the cook, Mélanie Dubois as Lilian Hotelier and Imogen the maid, Adam Martignetti as Lord Wentworth Domain, and Kate Etchier as Katinka the cook. Crime City the podcast is produced by Andrew Root and Adam Martignetti. Listen to previous episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, and SoundCloud. To help us find new listeners, rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks to the good people of PTBOCanada.com. Special thanks to Ian Osborne, Ryan Kerr, and Sarah Ty. Information about future shows can be found at Facebook.com/Crime City the Series and on Twitter @Crime City Series. We'll see you next time, Junior Detectives.